Hello, and welcome to your introduction to the Versaflex decorating system. In today's session, you are going to learn important information about your Versaflex printer and will also learn the steps needed to bring your Versaflex projects to life. Let's begin today's session. To get started, I would first like to draw your attention to the Sawgrass website. This website is a fantastic resource for Sawgrass users and will also serve as the starting point for much of what you will do with your Versaflex printer. On this website you will find access to the My Sawgrass software platform as well as access to our support team and education material. We will talk more about these resources towards the end of today's session, but for now, we will jump into the My Sawgrass platform where we will learn more about the design tool, the selling tool and Sawgrass print utility. The first application we will work with today is the My Sawgrass design tool. To open this program, we will select the design button on the top left of the screen. From here, we are ready to start the design process. There are two ways you can start a project using this program. The first and most common way is to select any one of our product templates. As you can see, we have a variety of different templates available including different drinkware, personal accessories, home decor, and more. If you decide to select any of these templates, it will then load the template into the design tool and serve as the foundation for your project. The other option you can use to start a project is the ability to create a custom canvas. With this option, you can essentially create a template with the dimensions and shape you need specifically for your project. For our example today, we are going to be creating a cotton t-shirt. Before we select the template, I'm also going to choose the information button. Each of these templates has an info button applied to it that will provide additional details about the template that might be beneficial for you. This template looks good for our project, so we will select, use this, and start designing. Once our template successfully loads, we will then use the toolbar on the left-hand side of the screen to bring our creation to life. The first section of tools we will work with are the elements. Underneath the elements section of the toolbar, you will find the backgrounds tool, the graphics library, and the shapes tool. We will start our project with a background. When working with backgrounds in the My Sawgrass design tool, you have two options available. You can either work with solid colored backgrounds or patterned backgrounds depending on your preference. With solid colors you can choose any of the preset color options or use the more advanced color tools to expand your color choices. These advanced color tools include the spectrum and spot color options, as well as the option to manually type in color codes for maximum color flexibility. When it comes to patterns, you have quite a few options available to you. You can explore these patterns by simply scrolling through the available material as I am doing, or you can use the search bar and filtering tool to navigate the material if you are looking for something specific. The different patterns are sorted into categories for easy access and filtering. You even have the option to sort by free or premium depending on what level of the design tool you have. Sawgrass is constantly adding more design options each month, so please check back to see what is new periodically. Please also be aware that you are not strictly limited to the patterns that we offer. If you have your own backgrounds that you would like to use, you have the option to upload any of the available file types at any time. Once the file is loaded, it will immediately be set as the background for your project. For our example today, we will be using a solid colored background for our project. I'm choosing this option because I want to demonstrate how you can further build your design on top of an existing background. As you can see, the spectrum tool and spot tool allowed me to get the exact shade of green I wanted for the project. The next section to explore is the graphics library. The graphics library is a portfolio of clip art and decorations that you can add to your project at any time. Just like before with patterned backgrounds, there are quite a few different categories of graphics available for you to choose from. This time we will use the filtering tool to select gardening and flowers. Once we select those categories, it will remove all the unrelated material, leaving us with our preferred graphics. Now that the graphics have loaded, if you want to use any of the graphics, it is as simple as selecting the graphic you want, and the graphic will automatically apply itself to the project. To select the graphic, all you need to do is click on it and it will immediately transfer over to the middle of your design. Once you have added a graphic to your design, you have a variety of different tools available to help you personalize your graphics. On the right side of the screen, you can use different positioning and alignment tools to move your graphic wherever you need it to be. You also have a set of layering tools to control the depth and dimension of the material in your design. On the left side of the screen, you have more precise positioning and sizing options. You also can fully customize the colors of your graphic if you wish to do so. All the graphics within this program are customizable when it comes to color. Some more so than others, but you should have no issues in maintaining the color vision of your project when using the graphics within the Sawgrass design tool. To change the graphic colors, you will select color of the graphic you wish to change. You will then use the same color features we discussed previously to apply whatever color change you wish to see. The final tool under the Elements section is the Shapes tool. When it comes to shapes, you have a few options available to you. With the standard version of the design tool, you get access to basic shapes. These basic shapes include circles, squares, triangles, stars, hearts, and a few other options. The premium version of the design tool gives you access to additional specialty shapes, different numbers and letters, as well as all 50 US states. The nice thing about the Shapes tool is that shapes work exactly like the graphics. Once you add a shape to your project, you will have access to all the same positioning, layering, and color tools. The interface of the program is very consistent throughout. Anytime you add anything to your project, you will know what tools you have access to, as well as where those tools are located. Moving on from the elements, we will then come to the Upload File section of the program. If you have any of your own design material that you would like to bring into your project, this will be how you can go about doing so. This section of the design tool will allow you to upload any of the supported file types into your project. It will also save a copy of that file for future use as well. That way, you should only need to upload a piece of artwork once. I'm going to move on for now. We will revisit this section later in the tutorial. Another key feature of the Sawgrass design tool is the Fonts tool. When working within the program, you will have access to several hundred different font options as well as the full ability to customize any words or phrases you type. The customization features include the ability to change the font style, the size, the color, and even build different effects into the font itself. Whenever you want to use this feature, it is as simple as typing whatever you want into the text box in the top left corner and then choosing your customization options. I will type out something and make a few adjustments so that you can see as you make changes. The changes are reflected in your design in real time. I encourage you to play around with the different font features. They are a great way to add personality and character to your overall design. It is now time to introduce you to one of the most significant features of the Sawgrass design tool. Down towards the bottom of the toolbar, there is a Designs tool that is available to all Sawgrass users. As the toolbar mentions, these designs are ready-to-use templates that you can add to your projects. You can essentially think of these as completed projects that can be replicated onto your template at any time. These designs will have graphics, shapes, patterns, fonts, and images already built in. Just like everything else we have worked with today, there are quite a few different collections and categories available to you when using the Designs tool. In fact, this is where we add much of our content, so I encourage you to check back frequently to see what new designs have been added. If you wish to use any of these designs, select the design you wish to add to your project, and it will automatically transfer over. When working with designs, there are a few important things to know. The first is that you still have full creative control when working with any of our designs. If you wish to resize, reposition, or adjust the color of any elements within the design, you will still be able to do so. You can also edit any fonts or backgrounds within the design as well. The other important thing to consider is that the designs, as well as all the material within the Sawgrass design tool, are available for you as a Sawgrass user to take advantage of. If you wish to add any of this content to your project and then print, produce, or sell that content, you are well within your rights to do so. So please take advantage of it however you see fit. The last portion of the design tool that we will discuss today is My Gallery. My Gallery is where all your uploaded material is saved for future use. If you bring in any graphics, fonts, or backgrounds, this is where you will be able to store and organize them. The other section of My Gallery is the Designs folder. This folder is where you can save all your completed designs for future use. To save those designs, you will use the Save and Print option in the top right of the screen. This Designs folder is very helpful because it allows you to save and reuse any artwork that you have created using the Sawgrass design tool. You should never need to recreate any design material from scratch. The design folder keeps track of it all for you. That concludes the different tools and features of the Sawgrass design tool. To finish up our project today, I want to bring in outside material, so I will be going back to the Upload File tool to upload a specific graphic. Before I upload any new material, I'm going to clear what I have worked on so far. Next, I will return to the Upload File tool and start the upload process. Once the graphic loads, it will ask me to create or assign a gallery category to save the file. This system will allow you to exercise organizational control over all incoming material. I will then add the graphic to my project, and I am now ready to send my project to Sawgrass Print utility. To do so, I will select Save and Print, and we will begin the transfer process. After selecting the Save and Print option, we are then going to be brought to what is known as the Product Details page. This page is where you have the option to either save your project to your studio, send your project over to Sawgrass Print utility, or post your project for sale to your My Sawgrass storefront. Regardless of what you choose to do with your project, there are a few key features to be aware of on this page. On the top of the page, you can rename your project, and it also requires you to give your project a description. This description can be as detailed as you'd like. I'm just going to write the word test for my example. From here, you can set your project up for sale if you wish to do so. We have hashtags available for social media marketing. The pricing tool allows you to set the price of your project, and you can also open your project for customization if you wish to do so. This will allow your customer to customize the design if you want to give them that ability. With this option, you can allow customers to change different parts of the design before they purchase it. They can change the colors of different elements, resize images, and even change fonts. This option is completely optional, and you do not have to offer it. You can also control just how much customization you offer by locking and unlocking certain sections of the design. The last feature on the Product Details page is the option to give your product a look or presentation. That way, if you do decide to post your project for sale, it will be more presentable rather than just having a blank background. Different product templates have different presentation options, so there is a lot of flexibility with how you market your finished product. Feel free to switch between the presentation looks at any time. In the top right corner of this page, there are a few ways to move on. Selecting Save will save your project to your studio. When a project is saved to your studio, it is not for sale in any way, shape, or form. It is there for your private use only. The Print option will send the project over to Sawgrass Print utility. We will come back and do that in just a few minutes, but for now, I want to select Post for Sale. This is going to post our project for sale to our storefront. I've selected this option because I want you to see what your store and studio look like, and how you can take advantage of them. The Print option will send the project over to Sawgrass Print utility. We will come back and do that in just a few minutes, but for now, I want to select Post for Sale. This is going to post our project to sale to our storefront. I've selected this option because I want you to see what your store and studio look like, and how you can take advantage of them. Now that we have posted our project for sale, we are brought to the profile page of our My Sawgrass account. The profile page is where we can access both the store and studio. The profile page is a good page to bookmark because it gives you access to the entirety of My Sawgrass, including the ability to start new creations, access your profile settings, and manage your projects. You can also decorate your profile page at any time as well. Feel free to change the background or customize your profile picture. It is important to make the profile page your own. When working on the profile page, you can switch between the store and the studio at any time. As previously mentioned, the studio is where projects are saved that you have no intention of selling. The store is where projects for sale can be found. In both sections you have similar tools you can use to manage your projects. Underneath each project there are 3 horizontal dots. Selecting this option gives you the ability to edit your project if you ever need to do so. You can return to the Product Details page from here, and the final option is the ability to delete your creation from the storefront entirely. You can also share your product to a variety of different sources from this section as well. If you do decide to sell your projects on the My Sawgrass storefront, please be aware that there are quite a few additional tools available to you. Underneath the profile settings, you will also find financial tools and different logistic tools to help you with the selling process. To learn more about these tools, I encourage you to check out our more detailed video on those features within our education material. You will learn where to find that information at the end of today's video. That covers the majority of the selling tool within my Sawgrass. For the next step in today's project, I would now like to return to the product details page and send our project to Sawgrass Print Utility. We can execute this action by selecting the Post Details button underneath the 3 horizontal dots. From here we will return to the top right corner of this page and select Print. Please make sure you allow pop-ups on this page, so the project can successfully transfer over. This process will take just a few minutes. Please make sure you leave the My Sawgrass window open while the transfer takes place. Now that our project has opened in Sawgrass Print Utility, it is time for us to set up our project for printing. Please note that unlike the My Sawgrass platform, Print Utility is a program that you do need to download to your computer. If you have not already done that, you can download the software from the software page on the Sawgrass website or from within My Sawgrass. To set your project up, you will choose the appropriate selections from the different settings available on the left side of the screen. The right side of the screen is the print preview. The first group of settings available are the formatting and layout settings. This is where you can adjust things like the size of the design you are printing. It will default to whatever template size you were using, but if you need to adjust the width or height of the project, this is where you can easily do so. Some other options in this section include the ability to adjust the DPI of your project, as well as rotate or crop the image if needed. You can also repeat multiple copies of a project on the same piece of paper if space allows. Scrolling down, we will then come to the print settings and more specifically the job settings for the project. This is where you will communicate information about your project to your printer so that you have the appropriate output for the project you are working on. Many of these settings are specific to Versaflex, so it is important to pay close attention to what you are selecting. The first setting to account for is the option to adjust for light colors. If you are ever working with a project that has lighter or more subtle shades of color, it is recommended that you select this option. This setting optimizes the colors of your Versaflex project, so they print with the vibrancy and excellence you were expecting. Please keep in mind, this setting is the default option, so if you are using darker colors you will want to turn this setting off. Also, when working with sublimation or HTV projects, you will turn this setting off as well. It will only be used with light-colored Versaflex projects. Going forward, I will indicate settings that are specific to Versaflex. The next setting is whether the project is mirrored. Most of your projects will be mirrored, but if you need to turn this setting off for any reason, you can uncheck it at any time. The Center on Page option will move your project directly into the middle whatever paper size you are using. I will select this option so that you can see that as you make job setting changes, your print preview will reflect the adjustments you make. At the bottom of your job settings there are different selection menus that change the output of your project. The first and most important of these is the Product Selection menu. This is where you will choose the material or substrate that you are pressing your design on. Different substrates do require different amounts of ink, so it is important to choose the right material for your project. This is especially true when working with Versaflex, as certain product materials will indicate whether the printer will incorporate the expander into the print. The Versaflex selections on this list are cotton, felt, natural fabrics, uncoated wood, and unglazed ceramic. The next menu is the media size. The media size menu is where you select the size of paper that you are printing on. We have several common paper sizes in this section, but you can also create a custom paper size if you ever need to do so. As we continue towards the bottom of the screen, there is also a Media Type menu. Media type is where you will choose the brand of paper that you are working with. This is especially important when working with a Versaflex printer because you have the option to work with both traditional sublimation papers and the Versaflex paper depending on your project. Fortunately, Print Utility does a lot of this work for you. When you select a Versaflex product material, the paper type will automatically convert to Versaflex paper. When you select a sublimation material or heat transfer vinyl, the paper will automatically convert to those choices as well. Please remember that you will still need to change the paper within the printer when changing these options. The last setting within the job settings section is media source. For those of you with a bypass tray or an option tray, this is where you will communicate to pull the paper from those sources. If you are just using the standard print tray, you can leave this selection on tray 1. When printing through Sawgrass Print Utility, there are several color options available for your projects. The first of these color modes is photographic. The photographic color mode will provide you with the most lifelike or photorealistic colors for your project. If you are attempting to print a project that is most accurate to the colors you are seeing on your screen, this is the recommended color mode. This is the color mode that preserves color integrity as well, so if you are printing a logo and you need to ensure the colors of the logo are the right shade, we recommend photographic. The vivid color option is the choice if you are looking to maximize your color output. Vivid will saturate your project with more color and enrich the overall output for a more vibrant result. Grayscale will remove color altogether from your project, leaving you with a black and white version of your project. You can also adjust your grayscale settings at any time. The final color mode is the ability to create your own custom color configurations. This option allows you to build out color settings from scratch, save them, and apply them to any of your projects. In addition to the different job settings you will work with, Print Utility also has quite a few other features that will help you with your Versaflex projects. The Recents page will keep track of your recently completed projects, so if you ever want to reprint something, you can come to this page, select the project, and it will reload it with all the previously applied settings. Quick print folders allow you to expedite the printing process by creating file folders that have job settings built in. You can save these folders wherever you want on your computer. Once you build the folder with your preferred settings, you can drag and drop the file into the folder and it will either send the project to your printer or open up Print Utility with the appropriate settings already applied. If you are interested in working with these folders, check out instructional video built right here into the top. The settings wheel is where you can locate all the different application settings for your program. You can further manage your application, devices and paper from this section of Print Utility. Underneath the devices section you will find tools that can help you maintain your printer. This page will have information about your ink levels and waste tray level. You will also be able to find your print count, firmware information, and the serial code number if you ever need that information. At the bottom of this page there are also diagnostic and maintenance features you can work with if you are ever experiencing any issues with your printer. The Manage Paper Sizes tab will give you additional control over the sizes of paper you are working with. You can add or remove paper sizes at any time, as well as change the default size for the printer. Another important feature of this program is the Send to Sawgrass Print Utility functionality that is available to you. When it comes to printing your Versaflex projects, you are not exclusively limited to our design tool. You can print from a variety of different sources and studios by using this option. Whenever you are ready to print a project from an outside source, rather than printing your project directly to your Versaflex printer, you will select this option from your list of printers. It will then send the project over into Sawgrass Print Utility, where you will then set up all the previously discussed settings before you print. I do recommend that you leave Automatically Print unselected. If Automatically Print is selected, it will send the project directly to the printer with the settings listed on this page. For new users, I recommend allowing Print Utility to open so that you can set up your project each time. One last way to print a project that might even be easier for you is to select the Create button at the top of the menu bar. This will open a new tab within Print Utility. From here you can use the Add Files button to import any of the compatible file types listed into Print Utility. You will then set the project up with the appropriate settings and then hit Print. You can have multiple tabs open at the top if you are working with multiple projects. Before we finish up, I'd like to return to the Sawgrass website. As I mentioned at the start of the session, this website is going to be a tremendous resource for you as you go forward. Before we review the website, there is some owner and operator information that I want to share with you about your Versaflex printer. If you don't remember anything else from today's session, try to remember the next 3 things. Number 1, it is important to leave your printer plugged in and always turned on. Your printer performs a maintenance cycle on itself every 10 hours or so, and the only way it can perform that cycle is if the printer is plugged in and turned on. The second thing to know is that your printer is designed to work with Sawgrass inks, and Sawgrass inks exclusively. These printers do not work with third-party inks, and using third-party inks can damage your printer and voids the warranty of the printer. The third and final thing to remember is that once you have loaded your Versaflex ink into the printer, your printer will always use Versaflex ink. You should never switch between ink types, as that can cause several problems that we want to avoid. If you ever have any issues or questions about your Versaflex printer, you can connect with our support team at the top of this website. Clicking the support button will open Print Utility. You will then fill out a request form, and a Sawgrass representative will be in touch with you. This team operates during business hours in the East Coast time zone, but please still create your ticket if it is after hours and we will get back to you. The other section of the website that will be beneficial to you is our education page. This education page is going to be where you can find detailed articles, videos, and workshops that will specifically cover all things related to Versaflex. This information is free and readily available whenever you need to access it. The knowledge base is where you can find written articles covering everything you could ever need to know about your Versaflex printer. If you prefer to learn through reading, this is the section for you. The Academy is our video learning platform where you can find both short and long format videos teaching you how to work with Versaflex. We have videos covering the Sawgrass software, videos discussing tips and tricks about Versaflex, as well as comprehensive workshops that walk you through the entirety of the design process. I strongly encourage you to check back on each of these pages because we will be updating them frequently. That is all the information that I have for you today. Thank you very much for joining. I wish you success with your new Versaflex printer. Goodbye.